Hello, folks. So this is what we're going to call a very special Gentleman's Box unboxing. If you're a subscriber and watched the reveal of the December theme, you saw at the very end they were talking about this hashtag Gentleman's Challenge, and the idea is go out, do something nice for a random person, talk about it using the hashtag Gentleman's Challenge, and they will send you a box of stuff. So. I was actually working on this project before this challenge came along. This was not anything opportunistic. I was already putting the machine in place to make this happen. So a little backstory. I have two Korean cousins. My aunt and uncle adopted two Korean girls in the 1970s. I don't see them as anything other than my cousins. That's just how it's always been. So we have this odd relationship. That whole wing of the family and I have this very odd relationship on Facebook. I almost never see any of them post anything. I'll see the occasional rare random public post, but a majority just don't post anything on social media. And I don't think any of them directly interact with my social media. They don't come over, so that's why I can do this and give the backstory behind it, because chances are my cousin and my cousin's family they're not going to come to my Facebook page and even see this, much less click on the unboxing video. So anyway, a few weeks ago I had one of those rare moments where one of my Korean cousins posted something to her Facebook. I guess Mattel has decided to diversify the Barbie line, blonde hair, blue eye, white girl. They've decided to diversify by adding a whole bunch of diverse dolls. Now, okay, diverse in terms of skin color and race. We're never probably going to see Mattel make a chubby Barbie, or God forbid, a chubby Ken. But the idea is they made these dolls called fashionistas, and my cousin had seen an Asian fashionista doll, and she was posting on Facebook and said, I'd give up the dream house, I'd give up Ken, I'd give up the remote controlled Dream Corvette if I could have had a doll that looked like me when I was growing up. Now, if you guys have watched my geek videos in particular, you'll see the idea of representation is important to me. It's nice as a dude who looks like this to kind of look out into the world of geek-related media and see characters that look like me. And by characters that look like me, I don't talk about buffoonish caricatures that are being held up for ridicule and humiliation, but actual, real, genuine, legitimate characters, who do heroic things, and they're not the best friend and they're not the sidekick. I saw the Spider-Man Homecoming trailer, and I'm just giddy as hell to see that they chose a fat dude to play Ned Leeds. To most people that doesn't seem like it's important, but as somebody who has been a fan of superheroes for over 40 years now, to see a main character, yes, he's Peter Parker's best friend, I get that, but to see a character, who's in the story and doesn't have this, height, weight, proportionate swimmer's build, gymnast build, all the shit that twinks lie about in their personal ads, it's really nice to see that character, someone who looks like me. So I get when this cousin was talking about, seeing this doll and feeling representation. So I always said, some of you who've been watching these videos for a long time remember back when I was unemployed, and then when I was underemployed, and then finally when I became fully employed. And one of the things that I always wanted to do when I was both and underemployed was kind of have the money to do awesome random things for people who don't know about it. So now that I am fully employed, I pulled out my phone and I went to Target's app. There's no way in hell in the middle of December that my fat ass is getting anywhere near a Target. On our Christmas cards last year, I wanted the inscription, "The holidays come once a year, but a manslaughter conviction lasts a lifetime." That applies to shopping in public places after Black Friday. So I pulled out the Target app and I ordered I think she's Ruby Red is the name of the fashionista doll in question. Had it shipped to the house, and when it arrived, I took all of the identifying marks off, scraped off the Target post tag, took the tag out of the inside, took the doll, wrapped her up really nice, put her back in the package, and wrote a letter to include on the inside. Dear Ms. J, it has recently come to my attention that several decades ago, I had hired a crew of racist elves whom I assigned to Claus Co.'s fashion doll division. These elves proceeded to push a Caucasian-centric hegemonic influence on our business culture and product output in the 1970s and 1980s. When recently discovered, these elves were removed from our employment and may have recently founded ties to the alt-right. We regretfully learned that you may have been the recipient of one or more of these Aryan fashion dolls during your time as a Claus Co. customer. While the enclosed cannot make up for a childhood living under the identity pressure and inflated beauty expectations of long blonde hair, overproportioned body measurements, and an addiction to pink plastic accessories, we hope that this gesture of goodwill reestablishes your faith in the Claus Co. brand as a standard bearer for diversity and love for all children. Faithfully yours, SC. So, typed that up, printed it out, put it in the box, taped up the box, went to a UPS store because I didn't even want like a return address. I wanted this just to randomly show up. So I took it to a UPS store, had it sent out. They used their return address. So anyway, I found out that the package was received last Friday. So I didn't do this because I knew that Gentleman's Box was doing this hashtag Gentleman's Challenge thing. But, listen, as somebody who has poor in his background, if Daddy can belly up to the bar, Daddy's going to belly up to the bar. So I sent him a message and I said, listen, there's no convenient way that I can put this in a 140 character tweet along with the hashtag. Can I enter in kind of as a back door? And I sent him a message, and they said, absolutely, we're sending you a box. So here is my box. So I have no idea what's in this. I don't know if it's an old box. I don't know if they just kind of put boxes together to liquidate stuff, but I'm really excited. And then again, I did have a moment where I told him, I'm a recent subscriber as of February. So if you're sending an old box, make sure that came before February. It's not that I don't love the stuff that Gentleman's Box has put out, but I don't need dupes. So let's go ahead, now that story time is done, and see what is in the Gentleman's Challenge box. And so it looks like it is a random... Okay, so if you've watched the other videos, you know that Daddy loves his travel flasks. And I also found out, I went on Twitter. So the TSA, if you're not aware of this, the TSA is very responsive to their social media account. I travel several times a year for business, and every time I make it through a checkpoint, I always preach to them the love of the pre-check program. So anytime that I get checked in, anytime I go through pre-check, I always take a second, snap a picture, give the crew, wherever I'm flying out of, love, and the TSA responds almost every time. It's both Orwellian and scary, but cool as well. So when I got the little flask from, which is still here on my desk, I'm such a pathetic slob, I haven't cleaned yet. When I got this espresso flask, I said, hey, listen, if I got a flask that's under 3 ounces, can I take it with me on the aircraft? Oh, shit, it's 4 ounces. Womp, womp. Still, it's a cool flask. So anyway, this is givestudio.com. It says the warm-up, and has that. Man, I almost want to see if I can push my luck and see if I can sneak this through, but I also don't want to lose the flask. I'm in a dilemma here. But this is very cool, man. A little mini flask. I'm digging this. Man, Gentleman's Box, thank you. Just like item 1, I'm digging. Let's see what we got next. So we got some socks. These are toe up. size 7.5 to 13 men's. We kind of have a Argyle pattern with some yellow, some blue, some dark blue, and pink on the toes. And, you know, if you've seen past videos, I've been very resistant to dress socks, if only because, you know, I don't hide the fact that I'm morbidly obese. And one of the odd common denominators about morbidly obese men is edema in the lower legs. And, you know, I'm not quite to the point where I'm ballooning out, but when I wear socks for any extended period of time, you know, 3 hours or more, when I take the socks off, there's always this weird little indentation in compression in my calf for about 2, 3, 4 hours until the fluid kind of fills out and everything. But I am also kind of quickly moving up the food chain at work, which means at some point in time, I am probably going to have to abandon my beloved hiking boots in favor of dressier shoes, which means I am also going to have to abandon my incredibly beloved Dickies work socks that I wear inside my beloved hiking boots. So I'm going to experiment with dress socks in 2017. And I'll tell you, I am loving the color on this. The Argyle is fun. It's playful. It's colorful. This is kick-ass stuff, man. So far, so good. So it looks like the last thing we've got in here is a tie. And I've been doing the other two things, I've just been kind of eyeing the box because I am loving the hell out of this tie. So quick backstory. I think I've mentioned in the past. I come from, every family has the family business, right? You know, the parents have a job and they kind of train the children and the children take the job. So in my family, law is the family business. My uncle is an attorney. My father is an attorney. Two of my uncle's children are attorneys. My mother is an attorney. My little brother is an attorney. And I have another cousin through another aunt and uncle who is an attorney. So right there, 7 attorneys in the family. Dad, being an attorney and a pack rat, worse than I am. If you think this is bad, my father's house, when he was still, you know, living on his own before assisted living, it would make a Hoarders producer just come in their pants. The stuff that he had everywhere. They could do a whole episode. But, like, you know, my dad wouldn't be trash. My dad would be like, you know, men's and ties accessories. So, like, you know, it would kind of be like a gentleman's box of whatever sort. You know, Spreza gentleman's box, Birchbox meets an episode of Hoarders doing like a retro theme. Because, you know, Dad had stuff going back to like the early 90s. And at one point in time, when I kind of started out as a teacher, when I was in graduate school, as a graduate teaching assistant in the early 2000s, you know, he kind of gifted me a bunch of his older accessories, including a bunch of the ties that he bought in the 90s. You know, at one point in time, Paisleys were like the big thing. The 80s, the 90s, Paisleys were huge. And I've always loved Dad's old Paisley ties. You know, I've never... My dad has never given me much materially. You know, I don't say that to be complaining, but my father has never given me like much material things to remember him by, and I treasure the fuck out of those ties. I will probably never throw them away just because there's like a huge emotional connection there. So to see this tie come in, and man, it's blue Paisleys on a red background, just absolutely loving the hell out of this tie, and absolutely will just wear the daylights out of this tie in 2017. So there we go. You know, that's like a hashtag gentleman's challenge, gentleman's box. Man, thank you guys. Just rock the fuck on, kids. The real cool thing is my real gentleman's box actually just shipped a couple days ago, and theoretically should have it by Christmas Eve. My family and I are flying down to Dallas, Texas to visit the one of my 2 in-laws. So I'm going to hope that I have that gentleman's box before then so I can get the unboxing video made and put up. But, you know, in the meantime, you know, that gentleman's challenge, I mean, you know, don't use that as an excuse. You know, if you're in a position, you can go out and do something awesome for a stranger, do something awesome for a stranger. You know, even if You're in Starbucks and you've got like an extra $5 or $6 on your card. If you know the person behind you is getting $5 or $6 for a drink, pay for their coffee, man. Do something awesome. 2016 has been an exceptionally shitty year. I think unless you are rich, white, and batshit crazy Republican, I think we can all agree that 2016 was a shitty, shitty year. And, let's be the change that we want to see in 2017. We can't stop celebrities from dying. That's the one thing we can't stop. But, in terms of reversing this kind of dark, dreary course that humanity has taken, starts with you. Do something. As far as I know, I'll never know if this cousin actually got the doll. Well, I may, because someone may see this and, friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. But still, at least until this video, she had no idea it was me. At least as far as I know. But go do something awesome for someone. It doesn't have to be material. It can just be a favor. It can be, an act, kind words. Today was our holiday party before we broke for the semester, and I wrote some thank you cards to some of the people who have helped me in the last year get where I am in my career. Just something as simple as that. So anyway, I will hopefully have one more box before the end of 2016. If the Don Draper themed gentleman's box arrives, I will get it done. Otherwise, it will be the top of my queue for 2017. So regardless of what you celebrate, pick your favorite religion and their favorite winter holiday. Enjoy. If you don't do religion, enjoy the time of the year. And I will see everybody very soon, if not one more time in 2016, 2017. Take care, folks.